Well, I got my pickup truck all loaded up with the interior to a Series 2 330. So I'm going to try out a new upholsterer. My current upholsterer is so busy. He's got two interiors in front of him. And the problem that I have is that, you know, I can't just rely on this guy to do all the interiors that I have, because I have three. This is the third one. And this guy really honestly should be in front of the other two because he's been here for so long. So it's like I'm really at a point where I need to find a new upholsterer. The problem with a new upholsterer is that you've got to go through, if they've never done an interior before for a Ferrari, there are a lot of little details that you have to go over with them to make sure they do it right. And you know, it's taken me a good 8 years to get my current upholsterer up to speed, so I don't have to worry about it. But the problem I have with that is that once they get good at what they do, they get busy, and ironically then they can't do the work that you need them to do. So it's a constant struggle with vendors, where once they start doing your work, they learn how to do it, and then everybody else wants to use them, and then you're kind of screwed because you can't get your own work done. It's a problem. And then with less and less skilled people that are willing to do this kind of stuff, the prices go up, the upholsterer gets, you know, kind of just busy, and so the only choice for him is to raise his prices, and then you're waiting, and I don't know what the solution is. One solution is to talk to up-and-coming upholsterers and say, listen, if you'd like to do this, I mean, like I said in the other videos that I've done, you know, you can't single-handedly support these vendors, but you can at least give them the ability to do different work and see if they want to work with you to do other stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this seat down, or this whole interior down. Eventually I'm going to send him the car, but for now I want him to have these seats so he can look at it and understand before he disassembles everything what it takes to put these seats back together. This is an original seat. This has not been reupholstered, has never been apart. So it really shows all the details. And on a 330 2+2, any Ferrari 2+2, there are quite a bit of details that are involved. I mean, there's a pocket back here with ripples, or I guess it's just loose leather that kind of is an elastic band at the top. There's a back cap that goes across the top with a chrome strip. There is a very subtle crease in here, and as these seats shrink, that crease tends to disappear, and if you send it to an upholsterer that doesn't know about this crease, they won't replace it. So this is like one of those things that really a pet peeve of mine. Behind this there's a piece that pulls it in, and most upholsterers that take this stuff apart should have seen that when they take an original seat apart, but a lot of them lose it, and then this thing all of a sudden becomes flat. The same goes for this crease here. This one's pretty deep, and you know, it really gives this seat a shape. But again, I see this missing a lot of times. I see this one and this one missing. So I want to show this new upholsterer, please don't miss that little detail. I mean, it's so much work to do these seats. When you miss those little details, you blow the whole upholstery job. I mean, it's such an eyesore for me. The other thing I look for is the pleats need to line up. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, every pleat lines up with the bottom to the top. I've seen upholsterers do that, and they don't even get it close. Now, this is when you do production seats, like, I get it. People, you know, you buy a seat kit off online and you put it on and nothing lines up. Well, that's because it was made in a factory, and that's not how this stuff is done. This stuff was handmade. So when you look at the original seat, whoever did the upholstery made sure that the pleats lined up, that these pieces all lined up correctly. There's also a particular shape to a seat, to this Pininfarina designed seat, and it has a sexy shape to it that a lot of times is lost when people upholster. You know, I kind of say, like, do they upholster English seats, or they upholster American seats, or they upholster Italian seats? The Italian seats have a certain look to them, and I'd like to reproduce that when they redo it. On 2+2s, there's a chrome strip and a mylar foil here, and a trim underneath that goes all the way around. This we may try to save simply because it's not available. But again, these things are often lost. Most people can't find this mylar strip so they just replace or lose it, or they lose this thing, and what happens is you just have leather all the way down. Again, incorrect if you're going to do the details. I have the Mylar material reproduced, so I'm going to give him some of this when he's ready to put it in, and we'll glue it onto the leather. You know, and that's just the seat. I mean, there's internally there's even more stuff. You know, there are bands that support the cushion inside, and it's tied with rope and string and all that other stuff. So it's like all this stuff are little details that need to be looked at when you're reupholstering the seat. So again, you know, you could see these little clips here hold the leather in. So yeah, a lot of little details, and that's just the front seat. I mean, I've got other things that I have to go over as far as like the speaker holes and how many holes there are. There's door panel details that I have to go over. So that's my job for today, is to go down and talk to this upholsterer that I'd like to use. We've already talked once. You know, he's interested in doing the project. He seems pretty, you know, diligent. So we're going to take it one step at a time. You know, it's always a risk when you get a new vendor, but the only way to do it is to try them. And you just got to take a gut feeling about what they know and what they say they can do. And then you hope for the best. I always tell my customers, you know, what vendor tells you that they're not very good at what they do? Every vendor tells you they're great until they're not. So I just kind of have to make a judgment call, look at what they've done, see what the sensibilities there are in conversation. I'm not saying that I can always spot a bullshitter, but at the same time, you know, you have a conversation, you do this long enough, you could tell when somebody's, you know, bullshitting you or is actually knows what they're doing. So we'll see how this one goes. I'll see if I make the right judgment call. But you know, there's a lot at risk. It's you know, tens of thousands of dollars being spent on upholstery, and I've got to make sure for my customer that I make the right decisions. So let's hope I make the right decision. Okay, so I'm here at GHM Antique Cars, and I'm talking to Martin on the upholstery that we're going to do. And Martin's going to end up doing this work, and so he stripped it all apart, and I wanted to show like the little details on these interiors as we pull it all apart. Yeah, like that. Yeah, so we had this is the seat back, and this is like that crease that I was talking about, and here same thing. And so what Martin and I are doing now is just kind of going over this foam and the plan to redo it, because what happens is this foam gets old, and for lack of a better term, it gets dry rotted. So it loses all of its, you know, support. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up rebuilding this, and Martin's going to start with, you're going to start with foam pieces. Yes. And you're gonna glue them together and then basically shape it.
Mostly the center. The center is gonna be yeah, we shape the center with the sandwich, and we reinforce it on the bottom with that strong foam.
Yep. Yep.
On the side, yes, we have to shape it. But, yep.
Yeah. So the
side too is need on the top of the hard foam has to be a softer.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be another half-inch sheet of half-inch.
A soft foam, yeah, because you can actually see what they did here. Yes. Is they use several layers. Yeah, there's a harder layer, there's a latex layer, and then there's like another topper layer. So what ends up happening is like the feel of the top first compression is soft, and then it gets harder as it goes. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to redo that with new foam.
The center don't have the extra softener because. Like you see here, the channel already has the half-inch or 3/4 inch.
Right.
So they build harder on the bottom, and they give up a touch of softener on the top. So when you feel the seat, you're not gonna feel something like a rock, you know, like a stone.
Right.
You're gonna feel something soft, but under the soft is a strong foundation.
Yeah. And then you could see how, you know, once this lays in here, that little bit of softness is in the pleat, and then the side has that softness from the actual foam in here. So, you know, again, just paying attention to what's going on.
Obviously this leather is old, it's really hard, but when you have the new foam, you feel the softness.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah.
And we're gonna copy exactly the same.
Right, same thing. We're gonna put the pole here.
Yes.
So what we're doing is the leather is on its way. It's coming from Connolly, and the next job is for Martin to take this all apart and then lay them out flat and start making patterns. But I came down today just so that we can talk about the foam and what the plan is. It's the same thing here. It's like he's slowly dissecting this apart and looking to see how this is put together. You don't really get to see a lot of this where it's backed by a little bit of muslin back here, I think. Yes. and then sewn in here, and you could see where it was covered by the seat. So it's almost like forensically you have to take it apart and pay attention to how it's all done, and then put it back together.
Yeah, usually
the same way.
Yeah, usually you make your own marks,
Yeah.
To reference, you don't wanna these get crooked, so you need to mark everything. You know, when you start, when you finish, so everything match to the frame, to the old
right.
To the original frame. So we don't want to see the foam. So that's, yes, we pay a lot of attention with the details.
And same thing here, like we're talking about replacing these straps, because the seats, these get stretched out, and then you end up sitting in it feels like a bucket, like it's just too sagged here. So what ends up happening is when you sit in it, it really kind of collapses. So same thing when we do that, we're talking a little bit about possibly changing things around to maybe put a little bit more reinforcement in here.
This is dry too.
Yeah.
This is lost the function. We need a new one, and like you say, it's a good idea. We reinforce the center.
Yeah.
Not maybe too much here, because here is too close, but maybe this section we reinforce us to. Yeah,
because I know on my car what I did was it was probably about 3 or 4 years after I did it. I did it the same way. And then it started to sag, and that's just naturally what ends up happening. So I kind of, knowing that, I was saying maybe what we do is when we have a chance, we'll add a couple more straps, maybe like in a basket weave shape, but just to add like 3 or 4 more this way, crossways. It modifies the original, but I think it's going to help the seat feel a little bit better and not stretch and sag as it would. I mean, it's just one of these things that I just know from experience that's and now's the time to do it. Yeah, so I'm gonna take the seat rails back, clean them up, make sure they're you do see that. Some of the understructure I'm not worried about, but that stuff I do see. So we're gonna definitely get those done. All right, but yeah, so this is the start of it. We're gonna start getting this all back. Leather should be on its way, so I think the next time I come down, I'm gonna end up delivering the leather. That's when I'll be back. And
you're gonna be a bunch. You're gonna be the whole table.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting, because I remember when I did mine. I mean, leather is a natural product, so you kind of have to lay it out and look at it and choose the pieces of leather that you want to use for what part. I mean, there's smooth grain, and then there's some belly leather that has different. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. It's been a while since I've done it, but I remember that, again, leather is neat. It's like I'm getting 6 hides that are coming, and
this is part of the back race. This is the back.
Oh yeah,
so it's gonna be all.
Yeah, so this is all has to be wrapped and stretched, and you see how that originally was a fiberglass piece.
Yeah.
And that again has to be done, and then where is the other one? Oh yeah, where's the seat back?
The back race.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So this is another neat little detail. Is the way Ferrari or Pininfarina did it was they used this really soft rubber membrane. Luckily, it's in pretty good shape, so I think we can reuse this. It hasn't torn, but again, it has to be kind of carefully taken apart. All of these little holes and pulls are basically involved with keeping this. It pulls the leather tight into that crown, and then also pulls the leather in here. So all those we're keeping an eye on. And doing all that. And
your idea is we can try to add maybe one time it's finished, add maybe a
reinforce, probably an because what's interesting is that pull, and a lot of times the leather shrinks and then that pull will disappear because they've either pulled through or it's just a little piece of wire. Yes. So maybe what we need to do is glue a reinforcement
And we put it from the other one. So
yeah,
we
and
had
then that
double
way
material.
exactly. Because I've seen that. I've seen that where these things disappear simply because it's using, it's just using this rubber to hold it. And we, now's the time to know that that's the failure point. So we're going to add some reinforcement there.
Yes.
You can also see it's, it gets wet, it rusts,
Yes,
and then that's probably another reason why it breaks. So knowing how they go together helps, because then it helps us preemptively fix things and it's also neat to see this is a nailing strip. So some of this stuff is still, Martin, you do a lot of older pre-war stuff. It's probably still using some of that pre-war stuff where you've got a lot of tacks and stuff. So it's crazy to see how, like, even in the 60s they were still using these little tack strips.
Here the holes of they use staples,
but they're still using wood. It's crazy to see, like, this stuff is still using old school handmade tack strips and things.
They just glue it on here,
just to the steel
inside, because here is a plate for the pocket. It's a plate, you have to put a plate to keep that, and the plate is gonna be covered for with the trim, with this. So it's kind of neat.
It's a lot of neat. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of new technology and old technology all kind of used together. So looking forward to this. This will be a fun project for us to all learn together and get this going. So thanks a lot, Martin, for
no, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Great. We'll talk to you next time. Okay, so I'm here back at the upholstery shop, and we're looking at these seats taken apart. So we're just going over the pulls and all this stuff, just walking it through and looking at trying to save this piece. This is that rubber latex piece that I think it's okay. This is broken a little bit. I think we can save this, because I think trying to find this piece is going to be difficult, and it's not in bad shape. What we are thinking about doing is reinforcing it a little bit, but it is it's just trying to see what we need to save and what we need to rebuild. But you can see what happens is all this stuff comes off, and then it's going to be used as patterns. This is that piece that goes around the bottom of the seat, and you can see that's where the foil was, but all this stuff gets laid out, and then it's going to get cut out. And over here we took the seat back. Martin took the seat back apart, and that's kind of the old foam, but it's just too dry rotted. You can see how, like, crumbly it is. So this is all going to get rebuilt, and he's already started working on this. So reforming it and cutting it, and then he's going to shape this, and then he's going to put another layer of soft. It's kind of funny, I'm actually sitting on this today just to see if it feels similar to this. So I came down just to make sure that he picked the right foam for the softness. So that's where we are today. But you can see he cut this one out so he can get the cross section. You can see the different layers that were added, and then that's how he rebuilds the seat. So that's going on there.
Next week.
Yeah, so we have to replace these. These are these straps. They've kind of like completely lost their stretch. And luckily, I think you can get the strapping material, so it's going to get stretched a little bit tighter, and that'll be that. So that's going on with the seat. And we have the leather here. It came from Connolly, so that came, and this is the color of the leather that we're going to put in the car. So with a dark blue, I think it's going to look fantastic. This is like a tobacco color interior, and we got 6 hides. And we're gonna Martin's gonna lay it out, and we're gonna see how it fits. And then we're also looking at stitches. We're gonna get the right thread to match this leather. Now that we've got the leather, and it looks like cedar is the closest one.
So this one is the
that's cedar.
No, this one is the
that was the cedar,
and this one is the toast.
That's toast. That was over there. So you see how much lighter it is.
So I think can be the hemp beige or
no, let's go with cedar. Cedar looks good.
Beige is too dark.
I cannot tell you how pissed off I am. I was putting this freaking air box together, and I had my headphones on, and my freaking iPhone fell out of one of my ears when I was reaching and contorting in there, and it fell down behind the air cleaner and the and the carburetors. And what's worse is it never hit the ground. So on these cars, another reason why I can't stand working on them is I've never dropped something on one of these cars with the DCOEs and had it hit the floor. You drop a wrench, it doesn't hit the floor. You drop a nut, it doesn't hit the floor. It goes somewhere inside this engine and gets caught. When my earphone fell out and skittered down into the bowels of this engine, I never heard it hit the ground. And now I have to take this air box off again just so I can get behind the carburetors, behind the exhaust shield to find my damn AirPods. That's the mechanic struggle of the week. Okay, you want to see something frustrating? I pulled the air box out, took the exhaust shield out, and still didn't find anything. Nothing. Can't find the headphones at all. Like everywhere you look, nowhere. It's like it taking everything out and nothing. Had to take the wheel off. So guess where it ended up? All the way in there. Now you know why I can't stand working on these things. They don't like me either.